Hi everyone, this is Emily from Grammy's Garden. Welcome to my video that focuses on making ham salad for Mrs. Stewart's recipe. Stewart's was about the third building on the left. This is California, Missouri. Hi everyone, this is Emily from Grammy's Garden. I've told a few friends of mine from California, Missouri, where I went to school from 7th grade on, that I was going to be doing a recipe from Mrs. Stewart's, from Stewart's Sundries. It was a little Sundries. It was they had a great soda bar. They made ice cream floats. They had some drugstore items in there. They had magazines. They had, I remember on one wall there was books. It was a really wonderful place. And there were women there that would come down and eat lunch from the jacket factory where they made coats. And they would come in so rushed and hurried and eat their lunches and leave. And Mrs. Stewart and Mr. Stewart ran that establishment for a long time. I think I was 13 when I went to work there. After I worked there, my sister worked there as well. I worked on lunch hours, not every day, but on lunch hours. And then I worked usually a Saturday, and it was a great place to work. And we got great free food. And we got to make our own, like learn to do soda jerk type things. And I learned to make great ice cream floats, root beer floats, cherry Cokes. They had coffee. I mean, it was just a great place. She even made chili. Now, she made her own ham salad. This recipe is the ham salad. There's lots of ham salad recipes out there, and many of them are from the F.W. Woolworth company, and I remember those in St. Louis. But this recipe is totally different in that it's got an ingredient that I would have never guessed. And in discussing this with my sister back in the spring when I was wanting to make some, I had some extra ham, and I thought, oh, that would just make, I'll use the bone for beans, and that ham would make great ham salad. So I was talking to my sister, and she said, you know, she gave that recipe to our mom. Their backyards joined our backyard when we were kids going through school. And she and Mom often shared recipes. And she gave Mom her recipe. And she also said that she froze this ham salad. So I'm going to get on with it. I don't want to keep this too long for you because really, folks, especially you all from California, Missouri, who have said you would really like to have this recipe, and some of you just around central Missouri, I will tell you, this recipe's got this secret ingredient. So it's 50% ham and 50% bologna. That's right, just good old bologna. I never had an inkling, I never knew, but when I made this in the spring and I mixed everything together, I was like, oh my gosh, it just took me right back to that wonderful little place to eat and have all this exciting stuff. I was a schoolgirl, you know, and all these exciting ladies coming in on their lunch hours and people that were regular sitting having a cup of coffee. And it was a wonderful place. And there's the picture that was posted at the beginning of this video of Stewart's, and it was taken by a friend of mine in 2015. Well, Stewart's has been long gone. It was later bought by another family, and then it has closed. And that little town's rejuvenating, and I'm so happy to see that happening. And wouldn't it be great if there was another place that could open like Stewart's Sundry was? The building's still there. I don't know whether or not that beautiful marble bar is still there or not. I'd like to go see. So let's get on with this recipe. Please bear with me. I've got my little grinder here, or chopper, for the times because I wanted to do some of this in front of you all. So let's just start and get the ham done. And what I do with anything, like I said, I tasted this in the spring, and with anything, I taste test it. And so, excuse me, but I have some extra silverware here, and I'll be taste testing to make sure I've got this spot on for those of you who remember these ham salad sandwiches, and some of you who want to make a really simple way to use your leftover ham. So, in this will also go I use Miracle Whip. You can use your store brands that you like the flavors of. No problem. I don't use anything but salad dressing. I don't use just mayonnaise. I'm going to chop onion, and here I have my home canned pickle relish, sweet pickle relish, because it was made with sweet pickles and sweet pickle relish. And if you happen not to have the relish and you've got some sweet pickles, this is my bread and butter pickle recipe, excuse me, that I just go ahead and make that into this. I just have chopped up the pickles if I need to. But this is my bread and butter pickle recipe, and I have canned that this summer to have a lot of this on hand. So, all right, let's get started. Got to find all my implements here. I'm going to start out and just get this ham done. And it's going to be a 1-to-1 ratio of how much you're going to use for the ham and how much you're going to use for the bologna. That's going to be 1-to-1. And when you're making this, folks, I did it in my blender in the spring, and then when I saw that I was going to want to do YouTube videos, I went out and got myself a small little food processor, and I really need a much larger one. So I'm going to start out, I want enough of this that I can have me a good ham salad sandwich for lunch, because I'm starting to feel like I'd like to have one. I'm going to just start out with this amount. I'm going to make enough to share it with my family. I think the only person who'll be eating it is my youngest son, and my daughter maybe will try it. And I like it pretty fine. You might like the pieces a little bigger. But there's something about that combination of the bologna and the ham. Let's see what this looks like, and I'm going to show you the texture that I remember it. This is about right. I hope you can see this texture. That's about right. Now you all, I don't put on gloves when I'm preparing food for me or my family. I don't. I wash my hands really good. I'm a registered nurse, still working, and I wash my hands all the time, and I wash my hands really good. You don't have to be a registered nurse to know that you do that, right? But anyway, I'm not preparing this for the general public. So I see that amount, and I want more, because I know I already want a thick sandwich. And you all put on your sandwiches what you like. Do you like to put sliced tomato? Do you like to put lettuce? I like this with lettuce because I do put quite a bit of Miracle Whip in it. And like I said, I kind of did that to my own specific taste. And that's the good thing about this recipe. Do it to your taste and to your likes and dislikes, and the dislikes and likes of those people that you're going to be feeding. I got plenty of ham here. I'm not going to make that big a batch. But I think I said earlier, my sister told me that actually Mr. used to freeze this. And that was really good to know, because I've got a lot of ham, and I want to be sure that it does not go to waste. And so I just may freeze some. And again, I'm just checking at this, and I'm looking to see if it's about the texture I want. And it's just kind of finely minced. You know, it's not a chop, it's kind of a mince. Yep. That looks good, looks good. Okay, so for this batch that will fill this bowl, I don't know, I think this is a 2-quart. Can't see on the bottom of it what it says. But I'm going to make enough that I'm going to put it in a jar I preserve foods with. I'm going to put that in that and store it for what I have left over. So we're going to start there. And then I'm going to get this bologna. This can be any brand of bologna that you want to do, that you want to use. I got the thick. I was actually looking for the chunk bologna, but I didn't find it. I didn't have any luck with it. Now, my son, who's a butcher, told me that you can find it at his store, in the stores he works at in Columbia. And I know they've got it here in the little town I live in, and they've got it in Jefferson City, and they've got it everywhere. But I just didn't see any chunk bologna when I was looking to do this. So this will blend a lot smoother than the ham did because of the texture. It's already soft. You know, it's already pretty squishy. But I'm eyeballing about what I think is equal portions. And I'm making it easier because as I said, this is a low-cost little blender that I got for myself, or food processor. And maybe Santa Claus will be kind to me and bring me a good-sized food processor. This summer, Santa Claus has been really good to me and brought me like a great pressure cooker. Santa Claus has brought me a lot of things. So anyway, let's see how this does. I can smell this, and this is smelling like bologna, but I know when this gets mixed, I want to be sure that this is the right consistency for me. And there's some there that's a little bit thicker than I want. So I'm going to give it a couple more. And thank you for bearing with the sound of this thing. I watch so many cooking shows. I don't mind these, but not everybody maybe feels that way. That's looking good. Also, whenever I blended this together, when I made it the last time, see, I've got a nice blend. And down here in the bottom, it always tends to, whether you're using one of these food processors or whatever, but it's just a really nice little mince. There. I got a couple of dogs. One went back to sleep. I made sure I gave them a little snack before I started, because when I'm in the house, they want to be right in my business if they're awake. Okay, so we're done with that part. We've got the equal portions, and it's looking like it was about a cup and a half of each, maybe a little more than that. Could be just a little more than that. All right. Okay, so, I'm not gonna dice these onions myself. I'm gonna take the lazy woman's way out, or man's, and I'm going to go ahead, because I can sit in here and dice all day, and you don't need to see me chopping. All right. We'll get these chopped really fast. This little thing has helped me make lots of relishes. I made salsa verde using green tomatoes. I've made all kinds of things this summer. I just made sure that with my garden, I was going to use every single thing out of that garden I can, and I still am. This morning I was pulling my indeterminate. Now I'm not using all these onions. These onions are going to be used for something else. I am going to keep them here because, like I said, this is going to be done to taste. Totally to taste. And I might want to add some more because I do like onion, but not everybody likes onion. And particularly if strong onions, like these are strong. See, this is my wonderful bread and butter pickle recipe that I made pickle relish out of. Hope you can see that. It's so good. I use it in tuna salad. I use it on hot dogs. I use it on everything. And lots of jars of my bread and butter pickles have gone out the door this year. I'll tell you that. And isn't it wonderful to be able to share food that you've prepared, you've grown it, and then you've actually made it into a product that when you went to the store and got it, it wasn't going to be nearly as cheap as it would be with the growing it. And I know there's all kinds, there's your labor and all that, but is there the joy of being in the garden? Now, I'm going to mix this into what I think would be, about a half a cup. And then I'm going to blend it. I really think my eyes were bigger. My eyes are always bigger than my stomach. But anyway, I can tell that I'm going to have a good amount of ham salad. I think I'll give my son, when he comes in to get his dog, I'll give him a ham salad sandwich for the road. Wish I could share this with you all. And it smells so good. And what was so wonderful when I made it in the spring was when I tasted it. I didn't add any salt and pepper because, of course, the ham and bologna are already salty. But, and I didn't add any pepper. Those, again, are your personal likes and dislikes. Some people will add egg salad, or boiled eggs chopped to ham salad. The original recipe didn't call for that, and I think this was probably Mrs. Stewart's own concoction. I think she just came up with this on her own, and it was such a hit there. I remember people ordered ham salads. I've made so many of these, and she brought them in glass Miracle Whip jars that she'd stored them in, and it was so good, and they fed us, you know. So this is in homage to people like her. That was the very early 1960s. To her and Mr. Stewart, and to the little storekeepers across the United States and in other countries. Those small mom and pop businesses, God bless them. Now I know for me, I'm going to want just a little bit more of the Miracle Whip. I hope y'all can hear this luscious sound of this stuff mixing up. It sounds so good, and it smells so good. I hope you make it. And in my video, if you just get on your phone, and when you come to this video and you get on your phone, is a good place to do it, or your computer, and just let me know what you thought of it when you made it, because I know it's a childhood memory for me. It's a memory of a young kid when, you know, there's all kinds of neat things, and it seemed like a big city, because I came from the Ozark Mountains, and I wasn't used to a place that had a drugstore like that. We did have, in the town I lived in Eminence, Missouri, we actually lived out in the country, but they had a wonderful place there called Bob's Cafe, and Bob had a fountain area that was like a soda jerk place too. All right, I think it's ready. Y'all want to see what I think? So I added more mayonnaise. I started with what I thought was about a half a cup, and I added a little more. This is so good. I'm getting ready to go fix me a sandwich, y'all. You have a blessed day. Bye.